Welcome back. Joining me today is a young lady that I've known for quite a while. She is just a treasure in the St. Louis community. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Dolores Hardwick Haynes, Executive Director of the Arthritis Foundation of the Central West region. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
yes. So, Dolores, we've known each other a few years now, about five, and you have always been extremely professional, always just poised.
Thank you.
Poised and confident, Thank you. And, so I knew you from back when, with the Grace Hill Center, and forgive me for not mentioning that you are an MBA.
Yes, I do have my MBA.
Yes. So tell us about the mission of the Arthritis Foundation.
Absolutely. So the mission of the Arthritis Foundation really is to boldly pursue a cure for the #1 cause of disability in America, which is arthritis. So we do a lot of that work by connecting people to resources, doing a lot of research and science around arthritis, and making sure that we are advocating. So a lot of advocacy work goes into what we do as well. So
So what unique challenges do individuals with arthritis face?
Individuals with arthritis have a lot of challenges. It could be, obviously the everyday pain management piece. A lot of our arthritis, patients have a difficult time getting out of the bed on a daily basis. There is a shortage also of rheumatologists across the country. I believe there are about 5,000 rheumatologists within the United States. When you think about how many people actually have arthritis, there are 60 million individuals that are impacted by arthritis. Just here in Missouri alone, there are over 300,000 individuals that are impacted by arthritis, and children are also impacted. A lot of times we think that arthritis is an older person's disease, but it's not. We have children as early as 14 months that can be impacted by arthritis. And so when we think about those numbers, and we think about the shortage of rheumatologists that are available, that can be a challenge. Being able to get that access to care for patients. Some of our patients say that it can take up to 6 months before they're able to be seen by a physician. So what do they do in the interim? If they're in pain, if they are dealing with symptoms or having a flare-up, how do they manage? So that's where we come in. We want to be a resource to them and be able to give them, tools and resources and connect them with others that are able to kind of help them along on the journey.
Right. Wow, that is so sad to think. So you're saying it's 5,000 rheumatologists in the whole country?
Correct.
To serve 60 million?
Correct.
Wow, people with arthritis.
Yes, so you can imagine how overwhelmed, a lot of the physicians are. Absolutely.
Yes. So rheumatologists, what do? Do they specialize in?
They do. They specialize in autoimmune diseases. So when you think about, lupus or arthritis, they are able to put together a care plan for a patient that, really helps them along, on their journey. And everyone's plan is different. What might work for one patient might not work for another, and so it's really important for them to have a number of options and a care team that can kind of help them figure out what is the best course of action to help them as they're dealing with the pain.
And so in the meantime, while they're waiting to see the rheumatologist, if you will, so your organization helps them with kind of connecting them with resources as far as like pain management and
absolutely. We always encourage people to visit our website, which is www.arthritis.org. And on the website there is so much information. It's categorized, people can easily find information about what are some great foods that they can eat. A lot of times we think diet might not play a part, but diet can be a contributing factor. And so we want to make sure that we are giving people information that will help them health-wise. We always encourage people to get moving, you know, exercise as much as they can do that, you know, is safe for them. But we always encourage them. I've heard this slogan that motion is lotion. So the more that you're moving, the more those joints are getting moving. And, you know, a lot of times our patients say that they feel better once they get up and get moving, you know, but if they're not feeling well, you know, it's easy to just want to lay in bed, you know, not get up or not get moving around. So we encourage them to do those things. Our website also talks about ways that people can get involved, you know, some of the things that they can do when it comes to, you know, advocacy. There are ways that they can reach out to Congress, you know, and be able to talk with their state reps and be able to, you know, share their stories of some of those challenges that they might be faced with, so that we can kind of work through, you know, getting some bills and different things passed that can help them as well. So,
that's good.
So yes, we are a resource.
And you know, and something that you were saying, it's almost counterintuitive that, you know, when people are feeling pain like that, to kind of move against that pain in a sense and try to find an exercise routine that suits them, right?
Yes. And it can be something very easy, you know. Some people enjoy running, you know, those are more, you know, higher impact, you know, kind of sports or things that they can do, exercises. But a lot of times it could be as simple as, you know, stretching. It could be as simple as taking a walk for 30 minutes around your neighborhood. It could be as simple as, you know, doing a yoga class. We really encourage, you know, people to just get their joints moving and get out and get about, you know, and so those things can really help, you know. So it doesn't have to be always high impact, you know, exercises, but things that are really
easy. You don't have to go full cardio.
No,
you just do a little something.
Absolutely not, unless they can go full cardio, you know. But if their bodies are not allowing them to do that, every little bit will help. So just encouraging that movement.
That's good. And I can imagine if they're not moving as much, that makes it harder for them.
Absolutely. That can cause their joints to get stiff, you know, and that can also cause more pain to develop. And so the movement is a key factor. We also, again, encourage, you know, diet, you know, to pay attention to the foods that they're eating, to make sure that they are possibly even logging those foods that they're eating. And then also, you know, if there are any pains or anything that they're dealing with, you know, we can sometimes recommend that they try over-the-counter, you know, medications, and so that can sometimes help to alleviate some of that pain for them as well.
That's good. That is good information to know, and as I can imagine with the Arthritis Foundation too, you have events and things that you work with people. So I think having a sense of community in a sense helps as well, that you feel like you're not alone, right?
Absolutely. That sense of community is crucial. We love to facilitate, you know, opportunities for patients to get together because, you know, it's easier for you to talk and be able to have a relationship with others that might be on a similar journey. And so we like to be able to host different events, such as our walk. We have a walk coming up in May, May 23rd actually, and that will be hosted at Logan University. And so it typically brings out, you know, anywhere from 300 to 400, you know, people that come out and they walk and support those that are impacted by arthritis. We have children's activities available. We have food trucks. You know, we have vendors that we work with, and they come out and give information as well. So we always like to do that. But one of the things I do want to also note is that when it comes to the children, we also like to create a sense of community for them. So we host JA, what we call Juvenile Arthritis, JA Family Days. And that's an opportunity for parents who are, you know, dealing with children that are impacted by arthritis to have a network and that community that you mentioned. And they can, you know, be able to build those relationships and get information as well. So we definitely like to create that, you know, environment.
That is awesome. And, you know, also you have like like fundraising and galas that you have. So
yes,
tell us about them. You know, I was so sad that I couldn't make the Bone Bash last year.
Yes.
But just tell us about the Bone Bash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Bone Bash is very exciting. We always love Bone Bash. Who doesn't like a good gala?
Right.
And so we will be hosting Bone Bash again this year. It's always in October, and so this year we are doing an Emerald City theme.
Oh, cool.
So with Wicked and Wizard of Oz being really popular, we are going to do a lot of pink and green.
Yes.
That will be occurring for this Bone Bash this year. Last year we had a masquerade theme, and people seem to enjoy it. But
love it.
Just an opportunity to come out and fundraise for a good cause, have a nice evening, dinner, networking, cocktail hour. It's an opportunity for physicians and other healthcare providers to get together and celebrate some of the wins that have happened throughout the year. So
that is so cool. That is so cool. And what would you say to someone who's watching us right now who is dealing with arthritis?
Absolutely.
And how would you ask them to get involved with your organization?
Yes, I would say definitely if you are dealing with arthritis, that we are a resource. We're available to you. Definitely check out our website. Again, it's www.arthritis.org. There is a plethora of information available to you that you can get, information about healthy eating, exercise, pain management, physicians, that might be available in the area. We also have a helpline that's available, and that is on the website as well. But you can call that helpline and talk to a live person on that helpline. So you're not going to get an automated system. You're going to talk to someone that will be able to walk you through any questions or concerns that you might have and be able to connect you to some resources. So I would say definitely check out the website. Make sure you get registered for our upcoming walk. That's a great way to get connected to others and be on the lookout for other opportunities and events that we have throughout the year.
Wonderful. And and as you're talking and you're speaking to the audience about the things they need to, if you're suffering from arthritis, the theme I could just hear in my spirit is you are not alone.
Yes.
You're not alone. You don't have to suffer alone.
Correct.
There is a community of people out here who are ready, willing, and able to help you in your situation.
Yes. Absolutely. I think that is the perfect way to sum it up. And one last thing I will mention about the community piece, we have connect groups. That is another, sense of community, and those connect groups are for, individuals that have arthritis, but it also gets specialized. We have connect groups available for veterans. We have connect groups available for individuals that are a part of LGBTQIA plus community. We have connect groups that are available for African Americans, the Hispanic population. So there is always a sense of that community, as you mentioned.
That is awesome. And then, of course, the connection to lupus. I know we could go in a whole different direction with the interview, but but you also have resources for them as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Dolores.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
You are so welcome, and and I just implore everyone out here who, if you are suffering from arthritis or someone with arthritis, to encourage them to get involved with the Arthritis Foundation.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sugaring is a safe, organic, hypoallergenic alternative to traditional waxing. Sugar paste only has 3 ingredients: sugar, water, and lemon. Whether you're looking for a treatment for your skin or a new hair removal routine, we're here to provide a relatively painless, affordable, and long-lasting approach. Once you try sugaring, you'll never go back to waxing. Right now, we're offering all new clients 20% off all our sugaring services. Learn more at sugaringnyc.com. sugaringnyc.com.